All right, day number 2 in the shop. Got the motor, oil pan off. Gonna dig into it a little bit more. I probably should have listened to the last video I left off on, because I don't remember what transpired, what I videoed, but you guys are never going to guess this. So, remember the head situation. Remember this. And the question about what caused that. Well, you aren't going to believe this, but that is how they came. When I talked to the guys over at Frankenstein, explained to them what I saw, what happened, we all were wondering the same thing as you. How did it melt? How did it torch the head? The question arose, and the answer is no. You guys saw the head gaskets, saw the heads as soon as I pulled them off too, and nothing caused that head stud to do that. That was how they were. These particular heads had a little imperfection out of casting, and they sanded it down a little bit and deburred it, and that is the result. Nothing melted it. So, that is super good news, because I was extremely worried how that happened. I always want to be the guy to fix a mistake and learn from it. That one, there was just nothing making sense on how or why. Well, now we know why. It was like that. So, moving forward, like I showed you guys, the head gasket there on the end was the only problem. That was it. I was a little disappointed in myself that I took the whole motor out, stopped racing over something that I was being too cautious about, the melted head part, which wasn't melted. But look at it on the bright side. The head gasket was breached. Had I kept running this thing longer than the 1.1 seconds that I did, it very likely would have caused serious damage, meaning torch the head, blow torch the head, blow torch the block, ruin the sleeve, possibly break a rod. I mean, the list is endless. What could have happened during detonation? Because overall, the main root cause of all this, like I've been saying, is the tune. I ran the nitro on the big block and used the same strategies I used on it with the LS. However, the LS was not happy. I should have taken the proper steps, went to the dyno, read spark plugs, started on much lower boost, teens, under 20 pounds of boost like I did with the big block, and seen what the LS wanted instead of just assuming. That's the number one rule when I tune cars too, but I failed to do that on my own, is I always firmly believe every engine wants something different. So, Could have been a lot worse. Could have been better. Could have made better tuning decisions, but that's okay. I'm really happy that I didn't break anything worse, because Justin Heckman from Baron Racing is sending me another set of head gaskets, and basically I'm just inspecting everything else since I have it apart. I have been mentioning I need to check the bearings, and I never did because I never saw any metal in the oil or anything like that. So we're going to do that today. While the engine's out, while it's on the engine stand, super easy to get to. And then we're going to put it back together and try again, because I am so close to connecting all of the dots. We've just had little failures here and there. The transmission, the head gasket, it's part of racing. Part of record chasing, I guess. Although we still, have the fastest car, stock block record, I want to be the first to the threes with a stock block. Factory GM casted block. Whatever micro record you want to call it. I am calling it the very first block from GM, LS, 4-bolt heads, You guys know what I'm talking about. So, I want to be the first to the threes. And we're right there. We're right there. So, all right. Enough talking. I'm going to get the bottom end apart and we're going to check the bearings. And you guys will see what makes this thing tick. I've been very open about what it is. It's such a simple combination. I showed you guys the piston part numbers, literally off-the-shelf pistons. You guys know the F710 heads from Frankenstein. A V12 GM block. 4-bolt heads, or 4-bolt. The heads are 6-bolt, but there's no 6-bolt, obviously. And now you're going to see the bottom end. Let's get to it. Well, I already found a problem. So, as you guys saw, cylinders 7 and 8, both back cylinders on the engine, had the issues with the head gaskets. So those were the first two I was going to look at. And unfortunately, I see an issue. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it till I take the piston out, but let's see. So first thing I saw, the rod has a bunch of nicks on it. See that right there? There's a lot of nicks that I just don't feel like should be there. And looking down at the piston, let me get a flashlight. Right there, if you can see what you're looking at, the ring is messed up. I can tell there's the oil ring is not where it's supposed to be. There's some damage on the piston there too. Yep, right there in the corner. So, little worse than not really what I was expecting to find, but I knew cylinder 7 and 8 had some serious combustion and detonation to them, so I am going to guess the piston is messed up. So let's go ahead and get that one out and look at it. That's what I hate about having tools spread out. They're not in their spot. Don't know where they are. Whoa. Yeah. And the rod basically just fell apart there. So one thing you're going to notice is that when I unbolted the rod bolts here, the two halves basically fell apart. So you'll also see that the piston nearly fell out of the block, which means the ring seal and the ring tension is gone. This is very likely what I heard while cranking, is that these two cylinders probably did not have any compression because of the lack of ring seal. So I'm gonna guess the bearing is probably damaged as well. It's not spun. Oh. No, it's honestly not that bad. It just doesn't have much tension left. Let's set that down. The piston nearly just fell out of the bore though. Yep. So just like I suspected, that piston is not good. It's a good thing we stopped when we did though. So the problem with this piston design is that there's no meat right there holding it back because the pin is so big. So the rings don't have anything to push down on. See how there's so much meat there? So that stinks, but this one's looking like it's pushed down too. There. All right, well. Oh yeah, wow. I can see that one there is crushing the oil ring too. Which is probably why we had oil on the plugs on that after that last run when I pulled them out. See, so it was a really good idea to not race it again because that would have been really bad. And how you can tell that that last run is what caused all the damage in the world is the bearing here, even though there's a scoring there from trash going through it, the bearing is not pounded. So it was only that one run that did all this damage. But that's how we live and learn. That's how I get better myself, is tearing my own stuff up. see what this one looks like, and that'll probably be about it. Don't really need to see a whole lot more after this. I'm going to guess this one is the same way without even looking. Bearing looks really good. Piston feels like it's holding tension this time, so that's good. Nope. Broken too, as well. Definitely not as bad pushed down, but through the naked eye you can tell. That side, look at that side. You can really tell there's a gap there. So, just some unfortunate problem. Well, it's no use filming the rest of this, taking all of them out. I'm sure this video is already getting pretty long, but unfortunate news. That's racing. You understand the consequences when pushing stuff to the very limit. Actually, we don't even really know where the limit is. Being the fastest stock block car in the world, 185 miles an hour is insane. So, just don't really know where the end is. Is it in sight? Is it far away? Don't know. But you cannot have these detonation issues when pushing stuff this hard beyond what its intended use is. And these are the consequences. So, have to get the motor down to Todd, probably do a fresh hone job, some new rings, and just go through the whole thing and get us back on the road. But I don't know how quick he's going to be able to do that. We'll have to get some pistons ordered, and yeah. Otherwise, everything else looks really good. So, all right. Well, we're going to end this video off here. I don't know if this will be 2 videos or 1 video, but a lot of deep diving information in this one. You guys see everything about this deal. So, all right. Catch you on the next one.